Welcome back to the Jscall Morning Show. Today, we're going to talk about Superman. Did you like Superman? Parents' guide information is below if you want to know if this movie is suitable for your tribe and your family and the people that you love. If you're new to the channel, I love movies. I just make these videos and we talk about the things that I loved in the movies, and I'd love you to comment on the things that you loved about the movie. Every movie is flawed. Every movie is not perfect, but what did you find in the movie that you pulled away from it? You're like, this worked, this was good. And at the end of the day, were you entertained? So Superman, I was very entertained. I thought it was a fun movie. So I jotted down 7 things that I took away from the movie that I go, yeah, this worked for me. Maybe it worked for you, maybe it didn't. Number 1, I loved how in the movie they got right to it. They hit the ground running, no origin story. Superman's already beat up. He's getting healed. He's going back into the fight. Lex Luthor already has a plan in place that he's been practicing and developing for 3 years. I don't need to have all that explained to me. It just all unfolds and you're like, yeah, I get it. Lex Luthor hates Superman. Of course, he's in the middle of a plan. And I love that it's like you picked up the comic and you just started a new issue and he's just fighting. They're fighting each other. And that stuff, to me, that was fun. I don't need 45 minutes of the origin. I don't need 45 minutes of Lex coming up with this plan. Like, we're just in the heat of it. And I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a nice change of pace. Number 2, I enjoyed that he wasn't overpowered, that he could get beaten up a little bit. In the Justice League, for example, the theatrical release, he's fighting the bad guy at the end with all the superheroes. He leaves the fight to save an entire building of people, picks up the building, I think, flies away with it while the Flash is saving like a truckload of a family, right? A pickup truck with 4 people. Superman comes back to the fight and he says, is this guy still bothering you? When Superman in past movies shows up, when he shows up, it's like all the air comes out of the room because you know, well, he's here now. They're not going to lose. In a lot of other content with Superman, I never feel there's a threat that he's going to lose or there's a way that he's going to get beaten. In this movie, they make it tangible that, like, yeah, if the right circumstances are there, he can get beaten. He can get beat up, but he's still super powerful. It's just enough that I enjoyed it more to know that he might need the help of other people. He might need to use other parts, not just his brawn, but maybe his brains to try to figure out how to save the day. And I didn't mind that. Maybe that's against lore. You tell me in the comments if in the past Superman has always been just completely invincible, but I enjoyed that about the movie. I thought that was kind of neat, that the movie starts off that way. He's on the ground calling for his dog for help. I didn't mind that. You let me know. I loved the cast. The cast from Jimmy Olsen to Lois to Superman to Lex. I thought even the Justice Gang, I thought everybody was casted very well. There wasn't anybody in that movie that was like, even Lex's girlfriend, I thought was casted well for what her part was. I thought everybody in that movie worked really well. Jimmy Olsen especially, for whatever reason, I really liked Jimmy Olsen. I thought his character was really cool in the movie. And his little plot points and the things that he was doing. There's a scene where he gets some information, some intel for Lois, and then he's like, you owe me so much for this intel. I can't even explain to you. Like, it was funny. And then as that unfolds on what you find out where he's getting his intel from, it's super fun. So yeah, bravo to the people that made Superman, James Gunn, for the cast. I thought the cast was very well done, in my opinion. I enjoyed the cast. Let's talk about Lex Luthor. Man, is he evil in this movie. I really enjoyed the performance of Lex Luthor in this. I thought there were some nuances to how he acted the role. There were some scenes where he's, pushing out his plan and his face is going through some emotionals, like he's excited, he's not, but it wasn't over the top. It wasn't campy. It wasn't like a Jim Carrey. It was a big contrast between how he did it to how Jesse Eisenberg did it in the Justice League. I felt like in this Superman movie, the Lex Luthor character was a little more conservative, was a little more pulled back. And I felt it was executed very well. I really enjoyed the performance of how Lex Luthor was portrayed in this movie. I thought he did a good job. Maybe, except the crying at the end, that threw me off a little bit. I was driving home going, oh, but everything was fine. I really thought everything was good in the movie. At number 5, I liked how they pulled back on the Superman, the darkness of Superman, and they brought back in some of Superman's heart and some of his light. Reminded me of the Christopher Reeve Superman. He doesn't always have to be dark. It actually, during the movie, there was times where you're watching the actor play Superman, and I was reminded of the guy who played Shazam, and how the Shazam character was lighthearted. Yes, it was a 12-year-old boy in a superhero body, but he had that kind of lightheartedness and that heart to kind of go after bad guys and save people's lives. And I thought it was fun to come back into that kind of a Superman vibe. I did enjoy that. Number 6, the whole movie looked like a comic book movie. I know all these movies come out and they're all comic book movies. It was the colors of this movie. There was so much color in this movie, and the creativity of the pocket dimensions and all the crazy creatures they're fighting and the things that are happening. Even that, there's that calm scene where him and Lois are just having a heart-to-heart talk, and there's this battle outside the window. That was distracting, but there's this huge battle going on with the Justice Gang and this creature, and it was beautiful. Like, the colors were just great in the whole movie, and it made it feel like a comic book. More than I kind of felt watching other comic book movies. Even though Marvel movies have a lot of color in them, the DC up to this point was a little darker in colors and tones. I just felt like this entire movie felt more, it's subtle, but it felt more like a comic book movie. And my final thought was just, I felt like the movie, though everything in it, you kind of know through past content, that maybe there's some tropes, maybe there's some familiarity to it, but it still felt new. I don't know if that makes sense to you. It felt new. It felt like a new property. It felt like it was a new thing, even though it was all familiar characters that maybe you grew up watching. But it felt new, and at the end of the day, I was entertained. And that's the point for me when I go see a movie. I want to be entertained. And that's the point of my channel. I watch movies, and I'm pulling out from the movies, what did I enjoy in the movie? What did I take away from it that I enjoyed? Like I said at the beginning, is it a perfect movie? No. Is it flawed? Yeah, there's a couple things. But was it fun to watch? I thought it was fun to watch. Depending on how you go into the movie is what you're going to take out of the movie. If you go in trying to find stuff, there's things you can find. But overall, I thought it was a fun movie. Did you enjoy Superman? Did it live up to your expectations? Were your expectations too high? Throw some comments below. Did you enjoy the movie? Are you excited for the DC verse in the next 10 years? Are you excited for Supergirl? Let me know in the comments, and more to come on the Jscall Morning Show.